Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Anthony. I wanted to go through just a few stretches and a few things to prepare for a 20 rep back squat. What I've done is I've built up over the last 4 to 6 weeks or so, building up to a 20 rep back squat. The other day or yesterday I built up to 305 and did 20 reps of that. But I go through the same stretches and same type of routine before my squats just to prepare myself. I'm usually pretty tight in the hips, so I usually go through a few stretches, which I'll show you right now. First off, ideally, you want to get the blood pumping. You want to get the blood flowing, so in order to do that, I'll either do some burpees, I'll do some kettlebell swings, and with the kettlebells, you can always do just a Russian type kettlebell swing where it's just a little bit above the chest. And I'll usually go through about 20 of these, like so, just to kind of get things moving. Or you could do about a 400-meter run, whichever suits you, but either way, it's just to get the blood flowing, get your body moving, things like that. I'll go through a couple stretches that I typically go through I'm usually tight in the hips, and that's where I need to work on, that's what area I need to work on the most. So first off, I just like you step your foot forward, and what you're trying to do is, without putting the knee to the ground or to the floor, is pressing your hips down as close as you can to the floor. And also you can reach in, put your hands down. Some people are a lot more flexible and they can get all the way down to their elbows, but I usually stand right here. I'll sometimes also just push the knee out. Gives it a little more stretch in here, a little more stretch just in the groin area. Switch legs, do the same thing. Reach down, get your head up, press those hips to the floor without that back knee touching. Pressing out on the knee. And after those, I usually get down, tuck this front foot in front of you, and what this does is it stretches back here into your glutes and also into your lower back. Just helps stretch that area out and the inside of the hips. And then I'll just do that for about 20 to 30 seconds on each side. And you try to lay down as flat as possible. There again, there's a lot of people that are a lot more flexible than I am that can lay pretty flat, but just go down as far as you can and as your flexibility allows you to. After that, there's a couple other things. Like I said, I'm usually stiff in the hips, but I also work on sometimes the ankle mobility, which my ankle mobility is pretty good, but what you can do is you can set up a chair or a bench, and what you want to do is you want to keep your heel down, keep your foot flat on the bench or the chair, and then you just want to press forward and just kind of rotate back and forth. And that also just helps loosen things up, and also the Achilles and just around the ankle area. So both sides, you can do both sides, both feet. And also too, another way of loosening up the ankles and getting the hips kind of opened up is you can take a barbell, 45-pound barbell. You can get into your squat position and lay the barbell across the knees. And as you're pressing out, you can just let it rest, and you can kind of rotate back and forth like so. And that also helps loosen up the ankles and opens up the hips, Another thing I like to do, sometimes when I'm lifting heavier weight, I get a little tight, like I said in here, but that psoas muscle sometimes gives me a hard time. So what I like to do is take one of these medium size or softball size fitness balls, and then I'll lay down flat on the floor and press and kind of roll it up and down in your psoas area. And what that does is it just kind of helps loosen up that muscle and that tendon in there. And what it does is it just takes away the pain from inside there. So after that, my blood's pumping, I'm loosened up a little bit. Now I want to do a little more work on my hips. So you can get any size band. Usually for the hips you're gonna need some tension. So I'll take a band, a green band, I'll wrap it around my knees. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna help your femur press back into your hips, and it's gonna open up or allow a little more functionality in the squat. So ideally, is if I was sitting upright, this right here would be an ideal position for an Olympic squat or Olympic type squat. If you were in depth with your hips out and everything, you'd be able to be as vertical as possible with your hands up. So I usually, the whole goal is to press your butt to the ground or your hips to the ground, and as you're pressing in, try to get a wide stance. And then what also I like to do is push my knees in as I'm pushing out with my arms, and do that for about 10 seconds at a time. Then release, hold that for about 10 seconds. Again, tension for about 10 seconds, and I'll usually run through this about 3 times. And then afterwards, my hips are usually loosened up quite a bit by then, and you can always do another couple little stretches, but those are the main stretches that I stick to in preparation to do a 20 rep back squat. After that, I start putting weight on the bar. I'll start out at 135 and I'll do 10 quick reps at 135. After that, I'll go up in increments. I'll throw about 175 on there. I'll do another 5 reps, throw on 225, do about 3 reps at 225, and then I'll make smaller jumps. Like I said yesterday, I did 305, and after about 225, I go up about 20 to 30 pounds each time, and I'll just do 1 rep of each. I'll make sure that I get full depth in the squat, and that I'll explode out of the bottom, just to make sure that I have those muscles engaging, the glutes, your hamstrings, and all that stuff firing up as I'm coming out of the squat. So once I build up to the weight that I'm shooting for, then it's just going for your 20 reps. And that's about it. That's typically what I go through. Like I said, a lot of this stuff and a lot of the places that I'm tight is in the hips. So I try to work on that mostly and focus on those things. But depending on where you're at, sometimes I'm a little tight in the shoulder just to hold on to the bar. Sometimes I'll do a couple shoulder mobility exercises to run through real quick, just so that I'm a little more comfortable in that squat position, because you'll be holding the bar for a good few minutes to get through those 20 reps. But that's all I have for you. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.